Hi, I'm Maria Ingold. I'm a CTO in video technology, and I'm here at Connected Media IP at the NAB Show 2019. And I am joined by Martijn van Horssen, who is the CEO and founder of 24i Media.
Hi.
Welcome.
Thank you. Good to be here again.
Good to see you again.
Yes.
Absolutely. So, how are you finding the NAB Show so far?
It's really good. Yes, really good. We have a little bit of a different location than last year. We doubled in booth size, so we have a lot of people here now with the company that's joining. And what we did this year, differently than other years, is that we also have a partner pod where some of our partners can present also their technologies, and that's really nice.
That's wonderful. Yes. So, 24i Media is a global TV app developer. Based on your experience, before someone launches an OTT service, what do you think are the key things for them to consider?
Yeah, so there are of course the obvious things with regards to what are your monetization options, how are you going to earn money, because that's of course really important when you start an application. But also the technology chain is fairly complex to begin with. There are a lot of components that are necessary to do. And we think that an end-to-end solution is not only an end-to-end solution by one provider, but it's also an end-to-end solution with best of breed. And that is what we are now really support by having an integration with a lot of companies that you can work with. And I think that's really important to choose the partners that fit your needs, that we can help select. So we don't think it's a best of breed for everybody, but there's a best of breed for your solution. So if you're a sports solution, you maybe need another recommendation engine than if you have like an asphalt surface. That's a totally different type of recommendation. But with our technology, we can support both in the front-end applications. So what we have now as a technology is not only the front end, because that's we do already for a long time, where we have technology to develop an application once and then deploy it on a wide variety of devices. What we also now did is create something that is easy to connect multiple sources into one application. And what does that mean is, if you, for instance, have a recommendation engine, you need metadata and you need user data in order to provide the front end with the right solution. And what we do is we normalize that to make sure that you can connect all those sources in a really easy way without too much hassle. So you can choose your own partners to work with, and we connect those into the application.
That's good. So what differentiates you? Why choose you specifically?
I think what we're really known for is our partner ecosystem. So we have a lot of good partners that we work with, that we have proven technologies with. So that's one of the things that's really strong, is that we have that partner relationship. And another thing is, and this is, I'm the CEO of the company and I founded it as well, is one of the things that we really believe in doing is not a client-vendor relationship. So if someone wants a client-vendor relationship, we're not doing that. We are looking more for a partnership and doing it together. So we see it more like a marriage, that you do something together and you're together responsible for the success. And that's also where we want to celebrate that, but also sometimes you have something that's not going well, then you also need to speak about it and do it. So for us, it's more like a partnership than having that. And I think that's fairly unique, and that's also where we're known for. And another thing is I think where we now really have changed our model is to have that ecosystem ready in our application. So if you see what we are doing on the different front-end technologies, being ahead of the game, make sure that we are doing things a little bit different than the others in terms of how you create an app, make sure that you can test things out in the applications. That is different. And the last thing is, what we did is we see that a lot of companies want to maybe start with something, or they have already a service and you want to grow. So we grow with you. We can make sure that you are better equipped also for the future. So it's not that you have to create a new application, but you can grow features and you can grow integrations over time. And I also think that is really important, that it's not a one-off thing, it's a continuous engagement.
Speaking of the future, what do you think is going to happen over the next 3 to 5 years?
Good question. So I think what we now see is the data that we get, so what we call metadata, in order to have discoverability, for instance, normally consists of a title, maybe who the actors are, and the description. And we see now with the AI that we are also now integrating from third parties, because we don't use the AI ourselves to, for instance, do image recognition, but to get a huge amount of additional data on what is the actual video is about and what you can do with it, who are in the video, video, but not only who are in the video, but also on which moment. Those things are becoming much more interesting for engagement. So we see, for instance, we now have a demo where you can press pause and then you know exactly who is in the image at that moment. So it's not who's in the video, but who's at that moment in the screen.
Yes.
And I think for the discoverability for users that get a lot of content, that maybe are interested in the Jimmy Fallon show and see like that Jennifer Lawrence is the second guest, but the first guest is not so interesting for you, that you can skip that guest and immediately go to the things that you're interested in. Those are the things that we will see, that people are wanting to go faster to the content that they want. Shorter form content. So we see also that for different platforms you will deliver shorter form content, which is maybe difficult to create, and I also think AI will help with that, to create the show reels or the teasers in a way that is
certainly for millennial market. That's
exactly.
very important.
Yes. Yeah. So I think we recently created an application that has some sort of an Instagram feed for video to discover, and those things I think we will see much more. That per platform there will be different usage of content. I think that's an important thing, and that AI, if we see now how AI grows, it will be really important part of the discoverability and the monetization. And on the other hand, I think that one of the things that will be really important is data. We see that data is really important in the application, but gathering that data and make sure that a lot of companies can use that within your own service. So maybe you want to share your data for analytics, but also for quality assurance, maybe for churn reduction, and that data, getting that out of the application in a uniformed way that everybody can use it, also a thing that I think is really important for the future, because people expect more quality, expect different experience per person, and in order to orchestrate that is something that will definitely the future. So that's where we work on a day-to-day business to make sure that experience is the best.
Well, thank you so much for coming and joining us again at Connected Media IP, and I can't wait to see what's happened in the next year for you.
Definitely. Thank you for having us.